Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, December 9th, and this is the AgYield War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating today's session. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area, and we'll be sure to get to it during the show. Overnight markets here at March corn up 3/4 at 440 3/4. March soybeans were up 4 3/4 at 10.04, and March Chicago wheat was up 6 1/4 at 563.5. No export sales announcements here this morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Dustin, we've got USDA report out tomorrow, 11 o'clock Central. Maybe a few thoughts and comments there as we start the morning, and we'll kick it around the room.
Yeah, good morning, Dan. The December WASDE report is generally not a major market mover. They usually leave most things unchanged from the November report. So, but there's always a chance that we still could get some fireworks just because. I think the main focus for us is still going to be just global, geopolitical direction. We had over the weekend China announcing more stimulus in response to Trump. And, I think that's part of the reason why we saw that rebound and things like soybeans and corn. We are looking at the Brazilian real at, near all-time lows here again, still a little bit of a strength overnight, again, following the, maybe leading the grains or following the grains, one of the two. But that's kind of where we're at. It's, markets seem to be adequately supplied. If we have normal growing seasons in South America and again in the U.S. in 25, more than well supplied right now. But if we are starting to see some changes, just slight reductions in trendline yield in the safrinha corn crop, which we won't know till June, or U.S. corn acres down in March, I think the market might get a little bit concerned about global grain supplies ex-China. That's the biggest thing I think that looks out of line to us is that, corn and wheat supplies globally are quite tight when you take the Chinese supplies off the table.
Yeah, Ben, what's on your thoughts this morning? What's on your mind?
Day before report, we've had a nice little bounce here into it. Corn looking at trying to work its way maybe to the 200-day. It's above its 100-day. It's above its 50-day, above its 20-day. It's been pretty persistently bid. Did note that basis kind of flattened out a little bit going home on Friday. Beans still fairly negative from a technical standpoint, but they are peeking their head above their 20-day with the 50 at 10.06 and the 100-day at 10.18. So I think that we got to get through this report. There's a few things here to weigh. Is it a larger, to show stronger demand numbers? We would expect, I guess, that we would see an increase in South American production. But they were reluctant last year to lower it when people thought it should have been lowered. So maybe this is kind of the moderation stage of it gelling together. So I expect quiet markets till the report comes out and we go from there.
Yeah, our friends at Bourbon Brown asked this morning, we've talked about it a number of times, there is the potential this corn and bean rally, and all this buying has been a protection against tariffs. We'll have to see, right? I mean, I don't think anybody's got the firm answer on that, but, we'll have to see what shakes out post inauguration. And obviously if he continues down the path of tariffs, we'll have to see what shakes out there. Yeah. Anything else on the grain side here this morning, guys? Like I said, not a lot of fresh news.
If Mexico becomes a state, then is it really exports? You gotta ask yourselves, we could lose all that business.
Domestic use.
That's right.
Well, then Canada. I mean, let's be serious.
Fix a lot of import-export problems.
I was talking with someone, and it's Mexico's really was a great partner last year in corn, gobbling it up. And we think in terms of annual consumption, what if they're looking, this is a bigger problem, and they try to really stockpile corn. And I think there's some logistics issues with that. Quality concerns, if they can store it and keep it for an extended period of time, maybe a year and a half. And I think it's what Dan said. We won't know until we get into January, February, March to see if it stays at such a robust pace.
Yeah, And we're the only game. I mean, we are the cheapest corn right now and the biggest supplier, right? Until so it's not unlike when China, kind of buys heavily from us just to see how South American crop's going to be in beans, and then they can back down. You still got a haven't even planted a corn crop yet. So, if they know they need the total bushels, it makes sense that they'd buy from us, and we're the cheapest. So,
I hope they don't subscribe to the buy now, cancel later mentality, right? That would not be good.
Yeah.
All right, very good, guys. Ryland, let's quickly look over to Livestock. Not expecting any real big deliveries in cattle, and I guess the big story over the weekend, hog slaughter and production. Not real impressive when you look at the hog complex. So, what are your thoughts here as we start the week?
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting trade on Friday. It's pretty serious amount of liquidation out of the D's contract and the cattle side of things. So that took commitment down like almost 10,000 contracts. And we're looking at February, we're trading sub 20-day moving average. So I think you got a little bit to prove down here. The cash is going to stay up. Packers paid 191-ish last week. High side maybe 192 in Nebraska. So, everything's still holding up. There was a nice little rally here in choice beef at the end of the week, and the managed money was reported net long 122,000 contracts. So I'm just continuously adding to that. So maybe there's a little bit of just tapering kind of into the end of the year, kind of going into the end of this month, but we'll see. So I think our thoughts are just that, this is kind of a dangerous market with the funds really committed here, and overall the futures are just kind of languishing in the higher end of the range. So kind of need some new news to kind of trade to get us out of the funk, I think, a little bit, or at least tighten up that basis. So I think the focus is going to be just on the action in February today, with first notice day being today. Typically we see maybe a little bit of a pop in the front month after that. So I think that's where the focus is really going to be. And on the hog side of things, yeah, it just felt like a little bit of technical trade here on Friday. Managed money still record longs. The bellies were up another $6. So it just kind of feels like still have the support from the cutout. We're still seeing pretty firm demand down here. So overall, it feels like we're going to try to hold some of those technical levels, and we'll see. I think all eyes are going to be on cash, and if we see any surprise on the export report this week, and maybe even get something off the grain report to kind of shake things loose. But overall, yeah, it just feels like managed money is going to be playing a little defense down here.
Very good. Appreciate the update there. A couple of things to point out here as we start the week. Again, USDA report will be out tomorrow, 11 o'clock Central. We'll have our thoughts and comments there after post report there. And then Wednesday, busy day here. We've got 2 live webinars. First one, 10 o'clock Central, 10 a.m. Central. Be reserved for AgYield specific clients. We're going to talk about government programs and crop insurance, how those two will marry nicely as we go forward into 25 and some of the decisions that we've got to make there. So very exciting webinar that we'll have a couple of guests on, and it'll be really good. 12 o'clock Central. That's open to the public financial services discussion roadmap for 25. We're going to have special guests from the lending side, and then also some financial services professionals to talk about some things we can do to prepare ourselves as we look ahead also into 25. So a lot of forward thinking here this week. Wednesday's going to be busy. Be sure to register. You can click the link in the description, and that will take care of that for you. So if you wouldn't mind, give us a like or subscribe. We appreciate everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. Doesn't cost you anything to do so. Keep you up to speed on everything AgYield. Click on the like or subscribe. Every day that the markets are open, we're streaming live on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live at 8:15 Central Time. Appreciate the thoughts and comments here this morning, guys. It was a good show. Hope everybody has a good start to the week. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
The War Room is proudly presented by AgYield. For over 50 years, the AgYield team has provided grain marketing and risk management solutions for growers across the country. Our veteran consultants harness cutting-edge technologies to pinpoint risk, optimize market performance, and protect your farm's profitability. Discover a new approach to farm revenue management at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.